Find freedom all around us, with a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy. That daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements, merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you're applying for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
And do small or big projects with the same dedication and commitment as we do. With a reputation as the leading printing company in the country, when it comes to major projects and innovative solutions, we always deliver in high quality, thus receiving the trust and confidence of our clients. From the moment your order is placed to when it is delivered, we believe in exceeding expectations from the sales manager to the production team, the account manager, and the person delivering your material. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a highly experienced and competent workforce that enables us to deliver top-quality work on time. At reasonable prices, we provide our clients with multiple solutions right from conceptualizing, designing, printing, binding, publishing, and distribution. For all your printing requirements, we are strategically located at the Sillah Highway. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. We print what you desire.
Introducing Gamtel Corporate Internet for home use. Sihu, everyone at home can be online at the same time and for less than you think.
Now daddy can be home early and mommy and dad with the family can all have fun together.
You can now complete your work at home with our stable, secured and super fast home broadband fixed wireless internet.
Home internet couldn't be faster.
Download, stream videos, research, play games, learn online and work from the comfort of your home.
You can do with the internet.
Join Gamtel Sihu today and enjoy the fastest home wireless broadband internet at an affordable monthly subscription.
Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communications.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Kerr Fatou. Every Thursday we come here to talk to our guests about issues surrounding their departments and areas that they work around. And of course, tonight is definitely a great pleasure to have the Minister of Communication, Information Technology, Mr. Ebrima Sillah, for the first time on Kerr Fatou. Mr. Sillah, and you know Mr. Sillah is our welcome to Kerr Fatou.
Thank you so much for having me on Kerr Fatou. Yes, indeed. I mean, we had so many hulos, but it makes life interesting.
Definitely.
I mean, yes, when I was at GRTS.
And all in the interest of the nation.
Yes, all in the interest of the nation. Sometimes what makes a good manager is to also stand your ground on certain issues. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it was nothing personal, nothing against Kerr Fatou. But when you had a national institution like GRTS, which is owned by everyone else, including the producers and programmers of Kerr Fatou, we have to ensure that everybody's interest is safeguarded. Yes, we may, I mean, have some runovers, but at the end of the day, it is in the best interest of the institution.
And definitely it made the relationship very strong.
Yeah, because I think after 2 or 3 issues,
yes,
we all came to understand what we needed to do.
And
so.
and then since then it's been great. Oli, of course today we have the Honorable Minister of Communications, Information Technology, and this is an area that we obviously very much interested in. We as broadcasters are under his ministry, but of course technology is very key when it comes to information technology. His department is a very, very important area, and of course the Ministry of Information also is the department that oversees the government information. They are the central point. The Minister of Information used to be the spokesperson of the government, but of course the government spokesperson now resides under the Ministry of Information. So it's going to be an interesting conversation, Oli.
Thank you, Fatou. It is indeed going to be a very interesting conversation, as the ministry is the umbrella and everybody is kind of underneath him. And you've mentioned a very good point where, because we had so many ups and downs with him, I thought he's been here so many times. I'm surprised that this is the first time he's coming. For some reason, I thought Mr. Sillah has been here for like 3 times. Yeah. But yes, him being the mouthpiece, overall mouthpiece, because I mean, as the Minister of Information and Technology, right? I believe technology is the driving force of everything now. In everything you do, you need technology to keep going. And again, information. Because the information that you pass out to people has to be accurate, has to be what people expect, because it is, again, it's what police government. Yeah. Because if the information is not accurate, you're giving out, you're doing what's called mis-selling. Yeah. So he definitely holds a very critical role in government. And yes, indeed, there's a lot of information that's coming out now that people have been criticizing. Some are like, okay, government did this, they're saying this. Just recently, I read an article where you're talking about the $35 million that, you know, the whole First Lady thing. And some people were not convinced with the explanation that you gave. Some people were saying, okay, fair enough. I think him being here, he can shed more light on that. And again, other issues that are happening in the country right now. So we'll just welcome you, Mr. Sillah, and we'll take it from there once we get into the conversation.
So
Thank you.
Coming up on Kerr Fatou.
What is the government doing specifically to help Gamtel regain its lost growth?
Look at the reorganization of Gamtel, the restructuring, and the downsizing. To make Gamtel efficient, to make it manageable, and also to make it sustainable.
Make a difference and text CAR to 900 to win a car with Gamcell. Gamcell and Rotary Club of Bruceby brings you a chance to win a brand new SUV Corando. The more you text, the more chances you win. Join Gamcell today for your chance to win a car, fridge freezers, televisions, smartphones, and lots of cash prizes. Draws will be held live on GRTS TV. Proceeds will be used to help the humanitarian activities of the Rotary Club of Bruceby in the Gambia. Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS could save someone's life. Join us and text CAR to 900 today. A brand new SUV Corando awaits you. Rotary, making a difference. Gamcell, Yai Borom.
So we'll start first with him as the Minister of Communication, Information Technology. When he took over some couple of months ago, what has been the key specific areas that you wanted to specialize on to improve the department?
Thank you very much, Fatou and Oli. And let me also take this opportunity to thank your loyal audience and followers, both on social media and also on conventional media. I have to say that when I took over as a Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, I have found in place an already advanced governance situation there, where a whole lot of policy directives were being initiated. And they were all aimed at ensuring that we use the ICT to advance the development outcomes of this country. So when I came in, I also started from where my predecessor left, and then brought in some new energy, and then brought together the experts at the ministry, but also those outside. And then first we look at the need to have a comprehensive policy on ICT, and we thought this could not be done without having to put in place an ICT agency. So we accelerate the efforts to have Parliament, to have Cabinet endorse this, and hopefully very soon a bill will be brought before the National Assembly to create the first ever ICT agency in this country. This is going to be a first step to ensure that there is synergy in government's approach to development using ICT and communication related issues. The agency will also be responsible for looking at government's digitization efforts to digitize the economy, and then also bring in the necessary energy in the efforts to rely less on manual and paperwork, to use digital equipment to fast-track delivery and efficiency in government, but also to realize our economic development outcomes. So this is already in place. All efforts are being done. We have also reviewed the NICI policy. This is the National ICT and Information Communication Plan policy, which looks at everything about ICT and ICT-related issues in this country. Hopefully next week that will also be brought before Cabinet, and then we are going ahead with that. The reason why we are focusing too much on ICT and digital issues is because, you see, all this bureaucracy and problems related to governance in the Gambia and also in many developing countries is because they are lacking in a lot of things related to ICT. Imagine if you are to get a passport without having to go and queue at the immigration department a whole day. Imagine if you are to go to a maternity clinic, and then a technology is there to tell you when you are to meet a healthcare provider, rather than a pregnant woman going to a maternity clinic and you spend your whole day there. At the same time having over 100 people waiting to see one healthcare provider, personnel. So those are issues, and now with the click of a button or with an SMS message, all these things can be enhanced. Imagine being a taxpayer and you don't know how much your municipality is collecting on your behalf. So all these efforts are going on right now. Hopefully before the end of this month or early February, a partnership agreement will be signed with the Bikama Area Council as a first pilot to enhance efficiency in their tax collection, but it also bring in transparency, which means that what we are going to do is that anytime you collect a tax from a taxpayer, this person receives, even if it is a duty payment that you do at the market. Anytime you receive it, you receive a text message. Anytime you pay, you receive a text message that what you have paid as tax or duty is deposited in the right place where it should be deposited, or in the consolidated revenue fund. And if you don't receive that text message, you can demand your money back, because you'll see it is real time. So your ID, and each payer has your own unique ID, which means, and immediately when it is paid, you know exactly where it is paid, who did it, I mean, at where is real time, you can monitor everything. I have to say that GRA has already started this.
Yeah.
I mean, and this year we will see, I mean, a complete approach to the way payments are done. I mean, we had a meeting with the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs and his team, the Accountant General, the Auditor General, and also the Permanent Secretary and the Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority, I mean, on the plans that they have for collection systems this year. I mean, we have made good of our plan to start the complete digitization of the economy. This is extremely very good.
Yeah.
We are also working with the Ministry of Health to look at the drug supply chain in the country. I mean, I'm made to understand that a portal is even been built for them to ensure that, you know, in most of the situations that we find ourselves in, it is not because drugs are not available. But in most cases, you see some hospitals are oversupplied, some are undersupplied. So what is happening now, I mean, under this situation is every hospital or clinic in this country will be connected to this portal, and they will have a list of drugs that are supplied to them. If you are running raw on it, you know, it will be seen real time. So, you know, a request will be made immediately, real time, you know, and, you know, to the central stores, and this drug will be dispatched.
All of this cannot be done without a reliable internet services.
Fantastic.
We know the government through with the support of the Chinese government is laying fiber across the country.
Yeah.
The timeline that was given was December that it will be rolled out. It's
Yeah,
January right now.
Yeah.
What is the situation of that project?
I have to say that I'm proud to report to the Gambians that this project is almost complete. Currently, my permanent secretary and the managing director of GAMTEL and senior members of the management of GAMTEL are currently in China to finalize the arrangements with the Huawei, the Chinese company that was contracted to do this for the Gambia government. And we are proud to say that fiber is rolled out almost across the country, and the national broadband project, which you're talking about, is now almost complete, which means that the kind of internet connectivity facilities that we have in the greater Banjul area are the same that you have in the rural areas. That's what they call it, the last mile.
Yeah.
And because it is done, now what we are envisaging, because this is a huge capacity, we believe that businesses, NGOs, hospitals, schools, government buildings across the country will all be connected to this national broadband, so that they can make good use of it. And it is fast, very efficient, and very reliable.
It's important. This is something that personally, as broadcasters, as internet people who use internet daily, are excited and looking forward to this project to be rolled out. But you mentioned one thing, GAMTEL. GAMTEL, I want to come to the departments. GAMTEL is the custodian of the fiber.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's under the Gambia government. But GAMTEL as a company, I don't know what to say. I don't want my people at GAMTEL to be mad at me.
They are your sponsors, remember?
I mean, I'm part of the GAMTEL family as well, because I worked with GAMTEL for over 10 years. But GAMTEL as a company used to be one of the best companies in the sub-region. But today it has lost its glory. The equipments are obsolete. The technology is next to no technology in the sub-region. What is the government doing specifically to help GAMTEL regain its lost glory?
Thank you, Fatou. I mean, that's a very important question. Just to say that we have just completed the process of the option study, which was sponsored by the World Bank on how to make GAMTEL efficient. The option study came out with some very interesting recommendations. My ministry has carefully studied these options. We are currently preparing a policy directive or initiative around these options, and hopefully very soon we will bring this before Cabinet to have a national consensus around it. But just to tell you also that, GAMTEL, as it were before, was a very profitable public enterprise. However, when the coup happened and the plundering of this country's resources and the rape of the institutions began, GAMTEL became the biggest casualty.
Yeah.
And it was like the honeypot of both the military junta and the successive APRC, government led by former President Yahya Jammeh. And they never cared to invest in GAMTEL, but they were always milking the institution. First, it was like a target of bloated patronage, where they brought in their own people. You know, they forced, people on the management of Gamtel through political patronage. The management did not have control over the resources and the monies that they work hard for. Government never cared to invest, and they forced them into some very funny partnership agreements with dubious, sometimes very shaky deals with companies that have questionable integrity and also capacity to do what they claim they were here for. And as a result, that was the beginning of the death of Gamtel. The only thing is that, you see, this country in the First Republic had very strong institutions and highly trained people.
Yeah.
What saved Gamtel was the capacity of its staff to be able to manage under some very, very difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
Now, when we came in, we did a post-mortem of all these problems. We know, yes, Gamtel is overstaffed. We all agree to that. We know that, it was not making money.
Yeah.
And that is why we work with the World Bank to look at these option studies.
Yeah.
Interestingly, even before this option study, there were 2 other studies conducted on Gamtel, particularly on HR audit. And all pointed to the fact that, yes, the institution is overstaffed and something has to be done about that. But you know that in this country, if you are to retrench people, you have to go through a very meticulous, rigorous process, where in some cases you have to pay people their 1-year salary. In some cases, I think 2 years or so. These things require resources, because what you don't want to do is, as a government, you come in and just send people in the streets. That can cause chaos in this country. So we are taking a responsible step to ensure that we do what is right in the best interest of this country. We look at the reorganization of Gamtel, the restructuring, and the downsizing to make Gamtel efficient, to make it manageable, and also to make it sustainable. Yes, the interest of Gamtel is not necessarily profit, but they have to be sustainable. And that is why government has decided to go into performance contract with most of these institutions. Now, Gamtel is in charge of some very important, crucial infrastructure in this country. Part of the plans, as part of this option study, is to look at, okay, is it necessary to have Gamtel in charge of, wholesale for connectivity to fiber as well as retail? Can't we not look at it in a way that, we make it more easier, where they are completely in charge of wholesale, and then we liberalize the retail aspect to make it possible for all these ISPs to also have as many customers as possible. For example, today, if you are to get connected to the Gamtel fiber, to have internet broadband in your office here, it may take maybe 3 or 4 days. And you look at maybe 4 or 5 people will come to do a survey, and then they go back, they come in again, they go back, they come in. So you see that, and at the end of every month, maybe you pay 2,500. So for just to come and look at your, place only, the bureaucracy involved alone takes 1 month or 2 months or 3 months of what you're supposed to get. You look at the private sector, you tell them they just come, maybe one person will come, this person will be his or her own driver. They look at everything for you. The process starts, they hire, some, manual labor, who will come and then dig this thing, they pay those people, and you get your internet within 24 hours. So look, these are the kind of cost economic issues that we are looking at. How do we make Gamtel efficient? Do you need all these laborers just to go and dig the holes when we can encourage them to form a company, and then we liberalize this thing? Whoever needs their service, they just go, and then, their services are needed. Because at the end of the day, this is a huge package. We want anyone who can afford it to get connected to the broadband. And if the status quo is to remain, then it may be difficult to meet our desired, objective under the timelines that we have to have as many people connected as possible. So we are studying that very carefully. And I think, when we reach cabinet, a decision will be taken on those things. Secondly, we also know that, not much investment was done. Because, it is not only Gamtel that we are talking about here, it's Gamcel also. Yeah. Gamtel may not even be that bad.
No,
but Gamcel,
okay?
Gamcel is bad, yeah.
Yeah, but Gamcel, because Gamtel, in the unique scenario that they are in, they are the only ones that are in charge of the infrastructure, And if, I always say, if I own my mango tree, and I have to make sure that, I have at least 3 fruits every day, and those that I'm inviting to come and have a taste of my mango, if they can, they will call it maybe once a day. If they can get 5, and this mango is in my house, I cannot get my 3 as I desire, then there's a problem.
You have a problem, yes.
Then where the government comes in.
Yeah.
That's the Gambia, the gateway.
Yes.
Exactly.
The gateway is uniquely controlled by Gamcel. Because this is our national gateway, security-wise. For government to even think of liberalizing the gateway and sharing it among operators is one thing that is very scary for certain people. And secondly, that's number one. Secondly, we had issues here. You just mentioned when you were speaking about how the former government gave partners that were very bad to Gamtel. And one which we will openly call out is the last partners that the Gamtel had.
TGI or whatever they
MGI?
MGI.
Who held the company at ransom?
No, I don't want to go there because this matter is before the commission.
Okay.
So
I just want to say this. I want to say something.
Yeah.
For the government to go back and want to award the contract back to MGI was a big blow to everyone.
But did government ever say that they were?
The contract was issued, but it was reversed back when
the
commission
definitely.
Honorable Minister.
It was on the news.
I was not there, but at the time I did not know.
You were not minister, but you were.
But you know.
No, I did not know. As Director General, you don't expect to know everything, especially things that go within the corridors of power. But what I can tell you is, you see, sometimes in the Gambia we over-politicize this issue of gateway and liberalization and all those things. We need to understand one thing, Fatou. The issue of gateway liberalization was a commitment taken by the government of the Gambia since 2014.
Yes.
The submarine cable is that is making it possible to have all these facilities in this country is not only owned by the Gambia government. Okay, Gambia government owns 19% of the ACE, and then Gamtel owns, I think, 30%. Yeah, 30%. Yes, 30%. Yeah, and then the other 51% is owned by the private sector because they came in and they provided. They have been investing in this, and the agreement was that they had a time frame, and the timelines are all there. That at some point this will be liberalized, so that everybody will have your own gateway.
But there was conditions that Gamtel needed to be ready.
This is what I'm saying.
Government needs to support them.
Exactly.
Is Gamtel in that situation right now?
Yes.
For them to for the gateway to be liberalized, and they don't get that revenue coming in.
You see, I don't want to talk on this particular issue right now because, the Gamtel had already, discussed this matter with us, and then they are currently doing the final arrangements. I think 3 or 4 companies have bid, chose to be part of this, and their documents are being reviewed. I think you have the Vodafone, the Turkish Telecoms, and another one, I don't know. But the management is handling that, and we believe that hopefully next Monday or next week, this process will be finished. The board will have a decision on it. What we don't want to do as a government is to get involved in these things to the point that we give wrong advice. What we want is for the matter to be internally generated, handled internally, and then their board will confirm and validate, and then they send us an advisory. We look at it technically, what is in the best interest of the country and in the best interest of GAMTEL, and then we go by that. We don't want to be imposing anything. But, you see, liberalization can bring some unexpected advantages because it can increase. Now, you see, all this SIM-boxing that we are talking about is because the gateway is centralized. GAMTEL is not equipped to deal with all these frauds.
But are they being supported?
Because if you have good partners, the reason why we have SIM-boxing, I think, is because GAMTEL does not have the equipment, and government has not
been supporting them.
Have not supported GAMTEL to get the right partners to be able to manage the gateway. That because of that, people there
are a lot of problems with the SIM-boxing. This is a sophisticated, a fraudulent activity.
Yeah.
Aided and abetted by Gambians.
Yeah.
Inside the Gambia, with some conny partners outside.
Yes.
Now, what most countries, I have to say, technologically, it's very difficult to say that you are going to have 100% foolproof, system. But what we have decided is, when the liberalization takes place, everybody has your gateway, and monitoring equipment will be placed on the gateways of each of the operators, the telecoms operators. And then we will monitor not only the volume of calls, but the localization. Because, forget about the SIM-boxing. These telcos can also do their own thing. I'm not coming here to accuse anybody. Like you call the US is 0+001.
Yeah.
They can easily change it to appear as plus 220, as if it is local.
Yeah.
So, we look at anti-fraud, we look at localization, we look at SIM-boxing, and we look at revenue assurance. So that, combine all these things are electronically monitored. We know the volume of calls that you are generating and how much and from which destination. We can monitor the fraudulent calls and suspicious activities on the gateways of each of the telcos. And we can also have some kind of equipment that we can work together as the sector operators in this country, where those who are doing the SIM-boxing, we can go with a device on top of a vehicle, a secret car, and then it can tell you exactly where some of these things are. And then, we are also working with the Attorney General's chambers to even change the cyber, crime laws of this country. Because currently, even if you arrest these alleged fraudsters, what happens is that it's difficult to prosecute them because Gambia does not have the kind of laws in our criminal justice system to deal with these perpetrators. You only charge them under the economic crimes. But, at some extent, it's difficult to argue before the courts and then successfully win a trial under those kind of things. Yes, it's not only about revenue losses, but there are a lot of implications in this. That is why we are changing the cyber crime, internet-related frauds. The Council of Europe is sending in a delegation here in the last week of January or first week of February to draft the law in this country. And we are working with the Attorney General's chambers and the National Assembly Select Committee on Information Technology, the sector players, the Ministry of Finance, and all the others, so that we can have a comprehensive law on cybercrime. It's extremely very important because what we want to do is when those things are in place, we're also working with the law enforcement agencies, I have to say. Then we can even be working with them and then arrest and enforce some of these things. But liberalization is good because when everybody now is in charge of your own gateway.
Liberalization is good if all players are properly equipped.
Yes.
Would you agree that liberalization is good? Definitely, it helps healthy competition. It helps to reduce the traffic. It helps to reduce the rate of prices of what they are selling. But our main backbone need to be ready.
Yes, I know.
And
Fatou,
they are not ready.
at this stage, nobody is saying whether we will liberalize or not. The process is currently going on in GAMTEL. We have agreed with the operators, and this is government's position. We have agreed with the operators that the liberalization will take place. okay? And it is important that we do it. It's in the best interest of this country, okay? We will not only monitor voice. You see, let me tell you, there is just fantasy and unnecessary love for voice in this country. But this is a dying thing.
No,
I mean, in some countries, you are not charged for voice. You know, it comes as a package. The most important thing is not being monitored, it's the data. We are not monitoring the data right now. So when this thing comes, we are going to monitor the data gateway, we are going to monitor the SMS, and we are going to monitor other applied services that are currently being offered, you know, in the ICT industry. So this is extremely important. It will only increase revenue for the government to be able to, I mean, support the development activities of this country. Currently, I mean, the sector, ICT sector, is one of the biggest players, I mean, taxpayers in this country. 2017-18, I think AfriCell alone paid about $700 million as tax to the government. So this, you know, this is a big sector that we should really do everything possible to ensure that we develop it for the best interest of the Gambian people, the consumers.
Okay, Mr. Sillah, it seems you've been talking about the best interest of the Gambian people for a very long time. Okay, now I just have a question. With Semlex. Semlex, yeah.
The Semlex.
Yeah, the passport and ID.
Passport thing, yes.
Okay, recently, to renew your, what's it called, your driver's license, they're asking that you need to have the new Gambian ID card. So basically, it's like they're making it mandatory to get that before you can renew your driver's license. And then we've talked about transparency. We've talked about companies who have the capacity, who are companies with integrity. And then there's a lot of noise surrounding Semlex. A lot of people are not very satisfied with them getting the contract. And then now they're coming up with, you need to get the ID card before you can even renew your license.
Well, I unfortunately have not heard about that.
Okay.
But I can find out from the relevant ministry why that policy directive. But what I have to say is that the Semlex issue started not by this government. A review panel was set up. Everything was reviewed. Advisory was given by the Attorney General's chambers. Even legal opinion was given on this. The contract was there, and government is not only about those in power, it's continuity. I mean, if you faltered on some of those things, the possibility that you may be dragged to court, you know, outside your jurisdiction is high, especially when you are dealing with international companies. Yes, I was aware that some Gambian companies also bid for this thing, and then for some reason they did not get. Unfortunate as it is, I have to accept the fact that government, in its own wisdom, chose Semlex. They are now delivering, and I don't want to go into the back and forth of whether it was right or not right for them to have been issued the contract. There may be a good reason why they are saying that you have to produce your ID card first before you can be issued a driver's license. What is the correlation between a driver's license and an ID card? I don't know, but I can find out, and then we can report back to your audience.
And recently we've seen the director of the SIS when he said social media is a threat to national security. Social media pretty much, it's information under your ministry. What's your take on that?
Well, I think, you know, we have to put it into context, because I watched that press interview and I also read the story. I don't think he metaphorically meant that social media in itself is a threat, you know, just like that. What he was trying to say was the way people comport themselves on social media and how it has been misused in this country. I mean, is cause for concern. I mean, the bridal use and misuse of social media could be a threat to national security. For example, you set up a WhatsApp group in your village. You start inciting people. And then most of these people are not well informed about some of those issues. And this is something which is immediate. It is sent to you, you download it, you get it. There is no fixed way of managing it, because you already got the information, you have to now decide what to do with it. And most of the time, when certain information get to you, you are quickly convinced unless a counter, facts are produced. And most of the time, it's difficult to keep up with the pace of social media arguments.
So do you have any mechanisms to control that?
No, we don't need to control social media. As a government, what we need to do is to put out our, vision, our development agenda out there and let the people battle it among themselves. How they interpret. And this is what I always tell people. I'm not bothered about how you interpret what I do, so long my conscience is clear. And that is why, even when I had issues with Kerr Fatou, I always tell them, I'm not bothered about what other people are interpreting my action, in their own subjective interpretations of my genuine actions. The moment I start bothering about that, then I will not be able to do my work. What I know is do your work diligently, what is expected of you, make sure that you are guided by good conscience, and then you leave the rest of the people. Okay? I believe that, there should be no attempt to control social media. You cannot even do it. What we should do is to manage thought processes. And the way you do that is you have to be always ahead of them. You give them what they are expecting from you and let them, debate among themselves the merits or demerits of what, they are reading. At the end of the day, everybody is entitled to how you interpret things that are before you.
So we'll take our first commercial, especially for a government that was brought to power by the power of the social media.
Exactly.
The president himself has said that time and time again. I don't think this government will resort to anything like that. We'll take our first commercial break. When we come back, we will talk about the media laws that we were operating under during the Jammeh time are still here. What is this government doing to change those laws?
sam papa deena déedéet daf ma yónni woon ma joué ko géej gi waaw yàlla def mu gagné jàppoon $100,000 la
la ilaha illallah
te yow xam nga ne sama papa dafa amee cardiaque
yow da ngaa dof yow xam nga luy $100,000
am naa ko kay man naa lu ñëw bëggoon nga dimbali
demal na nga def damaa toog rek sama xel mi ne ci yow xam nga barki démb li daal si benn waay fee waaw ma romb ko rek barki démb waaw muy yuuxu di tëb ma ni kii lu ko dal ñu ne ma daal ci loto gaming Gambie bi la laal
jar na ko
laal na ci lu di waaw
nga dafa am quarté am kente am tiercé waaw maanaam nag tey jii kente bi la te jackpot bee passé xaalis
kente mooy lan
kente maanaam mooy juróomi fas yi
waaw beneen bi
am na quarté mooy ñeenti fas yi ak tiercé tey nag xaalis bi daa gën a yokk lu tax ndax jackpot bële dañ kaa tegaat ci bii maanaam juróomi fas yi boo ko jàppee ci ordre mooy risque nga désordre bi sax day fay bu ma ko jàppoon
yooyu moom noonu la demee da ngay dem rek jouer
am na lu ma yaakaar
man gis naa seen kii yi keesku yu ndaw yi ci biir dëkk bi mais daal dama ni lii moom amul xaalis da nga ciy def sa xaalis
day jël wecce rek sànni ko fa xool jëmbat la la ilaha illallah yow li nga wax ni tey ji bu yàlla dogaloon ma gañe ko lu mu gàtt
fi mu toll nii boo gañe woon $100,000
waaw lu may def
waaw nooy def
xam nga yow sama xarit nga
waaw
damay fexe nga rey say noonu
ci nan
lu mu gàtt $50,000
waay
Thierno woowee ambulance
lan la lu xew ni
sa baay gay dee na
sama papa gay lu ko rey
$100,000 dalaa ne ko boo ma gañaloon si li ma la yónni dama ko koy jox mu daanu ni sama kaw
man waxuma ko mu waxee woon la ko noonu yow la ko waroon informé ndax yow yaa ko gañe yaa gañe jàppoon.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
fay lempo warugal la si képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $24,000 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu si $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandiku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment maanaam bépp contract bu waay joxe te si biir réew mi lañu toog kon xaalis si contract bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contract warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contract bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokkute réew mi.
Every young Gambian dreams of a university degree. He wants a good paying job after graduation, a pretty wife, and ultimately own a dream home.
What if I can't afford my desired dream home?
And that is why you need to visit Universal Properties.
We specialize in customer satisfaction. We listen to every of our clients' needs when we show the properties to our clients. Before you know it, you hear the client saying,
I like this house.
This is the room that cuts my heart.
And most of the time, they cling to the door, never to let go. Most clients want to close the deal right there. And that is why we always have their contracts in the trunk of our cars. We work at our client's pace. No haggle, no hassle.
We're waiting for you at our office in Caraba Avenue here in the Gambia.
Have you run out of cash power? Do you want to transfer funds to your family? Or do you want salary advance without coming to the bank? Your banking services have just been brought to you on your mobile phone. Download and install from your App Store or Google Play Trust Bank's mobile app. Simply search for TBL mobile app and follow the instructions. You can access the following services: funds transfer, cash power purchase, forex rates enquiries, mobile airtime top-up, mini statement, balance enquiry. TBL app is the only app that allows you to take salary advance and many more. You can also interact with your customers using our USSD code by dialing *533#. At Trust Bank, we bring innovation that is useful to you, our valued customer. With our mobile app and USSD, banking is at your fingertips. Trust Bank Limited, proudly Gambian.
Make a difference and text CAR CAR to 900 to win a car with Gamcell. Gamcell and Rotary Club of Bruceby brings you a chance to win a brand new SUV Corando. The more you text, the more chances you win. Join Gamcell today for your chance to win a car, fridge freezers, televisions, smartphones, and lots of cash prizes. Draws will be held live on GRTS TV. Proceeds will be used to help the humanitarian activities of the Rotary Club of Bruceby in the Gambia. Every SMS costs $10. Your SMS could save someone's life. Join us and text CAR CAR to 900 today. A brand new SUV Corando awaits you. Rotary, making a difference. Gamcell, Yai Borom.
Sophie meew la bu sell te neex baax na ci halal ak mag yépp am na calcium iron protein ak vitamine yu bari Sophie full cream powder milk la am na 20 gram 200 gram ak 400 gram ku ko ñam dootu ko bàyyi Sophie, proudly Gambian.
GIA, the Gambia International Airlines, is getting bigger, better, and stronger as the sole ground operator at the Banjul International Airport. With an expansion in travel services, customers are assured of GIA's capacity to cater for all their travel needs, provided by professional, experienced, and ever-smiling staff. GIA's Hajj package and services, by far the best in the country, give the customers the opportunity for a memorable Hajj experience. For a more efficient cargo services, GIA means business as it launches its new multi-million-dollar ultra-modern cargo complex to revitalize and stimulate air transport. GIA, the pride of the Gambia.
Welcome back to the second part of this interview. You know, when this government came, the president every single day says, we are going to support with the media. We will not suppress the media. We are going to work with the media. But the laws that we have that was bad for the journalists in this country during Jammeh's time is still here.
In addition, he's been saying freedom of expression. This is what he's supporting. So these laws something needs to be done about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also happy to say that since this government came to power, no journalist has been arrested because of your work.
Yeah, but everyone...
No journalist has
But the laws are still there.
Harmed. No newspaper has been closed down or harassed or gagged. I mean, no media house can say that you have been denied access to government information or government ministers or the presidency. I think the truth is this. I mean, indeed, some wonderful efforts were done.
Yeah.
You know, to the point even the Gambia Press Union took the matter to court, and they won most of their arguments.
Yeah.
But two things actually the Supreme Court did not agree.
Yeah.
First was the forced publication, and also sedition related to the president and the vice president. Now, I mean, when the packages were done, but at my ministry, I presented this thing before cabinet. We realized that some issues that we wanted to touch on were already I mean, dealt with by the Supreme Court, which is false information, false publication, and sedition. So we've decided to change the cabinet paper, and I want to say that we have already engaged the Attorney General, and hopefully in the fourth quarter of 2019. This bill will be brought before National Assembly because it's already done.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not reinventing the wheel. The Supreme Court has already nullified some of these things.
Yeah.
It's just now to take the administrative decision
Yeah.
and then go to the National Assembly and change them. We wanted to do this in December, but because of the extended debate on the budget and the supplementary I mean, appropriation bill, it could not have been handled at the National Assembly level. But I want to tell you that, and I can assure you, that this commitment is there and it will be done. I have said this at the launch of the Gambia National Media Council.
I want to come there.
Yes, and really we are committed to that. Okay. Yeah.
I want to come to the media launch, the Media Council launch.
Yes.
Honorable Minister, when this GPU launched the Media Council, there have been a lot of praises across the whole country.
Yeah.
When you spoke at the launch, you raised a lot of eyebrows.
No,
is the government thinking of launching its own council to police journalists? Because yours...
No. You see, I mean, let me make this very clear. I was part of the committee that was set up representing the Gambia Radio and Television Services on this committee to, you know, look at the modalities for a media council in this country.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Information was represented by the Director of Information.
Yeah.
That is the height of commitment. Okay. I mean, the Attorney General's chambers was also fully
involved. Yeah.
And we are all very committed to it. You cannot use the power of government to police the media. Is wrong. Okay. What we said, when it comes to regulation, in any country, regulation is the business of the government.
Definitely.
Okay? We have nothing to do with, regulating what journalists should say and what they should not say, how they should say it. That is not our business.
Yeah.
This is an independent council set up by the GPU that we are even part of. One of the board members is the director of information.
Yeah.
We are fully behind this, we are fully supporting it, and it is in our best interest. But we are looking beyond what journalists are writing or saying. We are looking at the regulatory frame of the licensing issue. You cannot have the Independent Media Council giving license to, that is the job of the government. The government should take its
responsibility. The government issues license, yeah.
No, it issues license.
Yeah.
Currently, that is under PURA. We are saying, okay, looking at the trend in the media and the dynamism that it comes with, we may need another independent, regulatory agency under the government to look at licensing, to look at policy about media and all those things. That's very important.
Yes.
That's very important.
That is regulation, Ebrima.
No,
because PURA at this point is issuing license.
No, that's what
you
I'm
have
saying.
to go through regulations.
It's the same process, but you need to bring in energy and dynamism in it. At the moment, I have not seen anyone at PURA that has the thematic expertise.
You bring the expertise to the
No, we
PURA.
can do that, but
they can
that's
set up their.
That's why I'm telling you that these are policy options. We are looking at either to strengthen it, as a division within PURA, or have it as a separate agency. But we cannot, government cannot, abrogate that responsibility just because, an independent media council is set up. Who will be responsible for the policy initiative regarding licensing and all those things?
It's government's responsibility.
If government supports the council, government is part of this council, the government can work.
But government needs to have the overall responsibility of the regulation.
Is us.
The overall responsibility is government.
Of the media council, and we support it fully. Fatou, I am a journalist, okay? And it is because of my profession and what I believe in that made me, fled this country. I will not be part of anything, and I will not do anything that will bring me the bad things that we've all fought against in this country, okay? But what I'm telling you is that government should not be afraid to do what is right.
Yes.
And the right thing is to have a strong regulatory agency that will look at a whole range of issues about, licensing, policy, and everything.
But then, Mr. Sillah, it seems like government are like every sector they have a counter sector of it. Why don't you think it's better to just have that sector with PURA than setting up?
Listen,
because it's even with the spokesperson of government. You have somebody who's at State House. Then you have another spokesperson for government. You have government policy. Everything, there's just a subsection somewhere that is being managed by government. So,
policy is a dynamic thing. It's not static. You have to look at what is available. PURA is already well established. They have the experience in dealing with the media, but is it necessary to have this institution strengthened, and then, or is it necessary to have another agency? This is what
you strengthen before you get another one.
is part of the discussions, and then, we will do that. But, we are not going to abrogate the responsibility of doing what is right just because some people fear that, we are bringing in the old, the old memories.
Yeah, but can you commit that council is not going to be whatever you're going to set up is not going to be a counter thing to the media council or working against the interests of...
I'm only responsible for my concerns and my activities and what I do. I'm not responsible for what future holds for anybody. I'm just saying this. I have to be very clear. Government acts on the good conscience, and the good thing is that you have an independent media that is not muzzled, and this is the commitment of this government.
Thank you so much, Ebrima Sillah. Thank you very much, Oli. Good night to you all. Bye-bye.